This is a Hot Pie Media original.
The Russians didn't just invade the Ukraine overnight. They're going all in. And it's pretty terrifying to watch and see. What's worse, believe it or not, is that Vladimir Putin decided early in the morning to make it about us. And that makes the thing go to another scary level. No, we can't go to war. Okay. But there's a lot to this. There's, of course, I think the most interesting part is now going to be domestically what happens. We can choke him off with sanctions. If you want to do the responsible thing, you can find that anywhere there's responsible news, and you can read it and read it responsibly, and it's all laid out there. But it's probably going to work over time. The question then becomes, is the guy desperate now? And if you choke him off and his people become desperate, does that make him more desperate? And an even more desperate Vladimir Putin, what happens? I don't think we saw what we saw overnight coming necessarily. So the more desperate he gets, the scarier it gets. So domestically, how's it playing? There's the Trump line, and then there's everything else. And of course, Trump found a way to make it about him. Vladimir Putin early this morning said this. He said it was the West, that's us, that created the fundamental threats to Russia that prompted him to attack Ukraine. And it's the West that Russia would seek to humble in an ensuing war. All of the so-called Western Bloc, which the U.S. formed in its image and likeness, and all of it in its entirety, is what's known as the Empire of Lies. What? The U.S. and its allies tried to crush us and beat us down and finish us off. We remember that, and we will never forget it. You know, I minored in Russian, so I could just play him and then read it back to you, but that's what this is. Of course, this is a violation of law. This is a sovereign nation and all that stuff. That goes pretty much without saying. Then he goes on to tell you, anyone who tries to get in our way, let alone tries to threaten us and our people, should know that Russia's answer will be immediate, and it will lead to consequences of the sort that you have not faced ever in your history. That's meant to be dramatic, and it is. It's meant to be terrifying, and it is. That's what he said overnight, and he blamed us and threatened war. Now what? We can't go to war. Got it. Here's the domestic part. So how long he's going to play that card? It's all your fault. You did this. We'll go to war. Test us. All the threats that happened overnight. The tanks are rolling in. In fact, if you don't sleep at all, then you see stuff like this. This is, I think at 5 o'clock in the morning in the Ukraine. It's been a while since we've seen images like this, right? Sort of the CNN wars that a lot of us grew up with. You're used to seeing a CNN reporter standing somewhere and then bombs falling in the background. Well, guess what? At 5 o'clock this morning, that's exactly what you saw. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
About you, Jeff,
I've never heard
it
that.
is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
345 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today.
Okay.
And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here, it's called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of good, really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet Heat.
I'll even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No, a little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front.
Yeah.
And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. This is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet heat.
Beet heat. BEET. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
Oh, I tell you what, I just heard a big bang right here behind me. I thought we shouldn't have done the live shot here. There are big explosions taking place in Kiev right now. I can hear rumblings right now.
Matthew, is it safe where you are?
Pinpoint. Yeah, I think it's relatively safe at the moment. Look, I've got
There's another one.
I've got a flak jacket right here.
I think we should stick with this just to see what's happening as he is doing this.
Yeah, I think
and
we
we'll
should.
get to our other correspondence in a
we
moment,
should
but
too.
this is where it appears there are things going on now.
Yeah, the poor guy is scurrying to get his flak jacket on because the bombs are getting, you can hear the sounds, are getting closer and closer. It's it's terrifying to watch. We've had CNN wars before, right? We've had all TV wars before. Then you get to the domestic part. And this is the part we can debate. There's nothing to do now except see if the sanctions work. It's about Donald Trump. It's about Trump making it about Donald Trump. And it's about Trump making it about Trump and his supporters. Got it? Trump is making it about him, and supporters are making it about Trump. The reasonable question, and I know we don't have much of that these days, but the reasonable question is this. Will Donald Trump's ongoing defense of Vladimir Putin, the long-distance love affair that Trump and Trump supporters have of Vladimir Putin, does it kill off his political chances? Right? Does it box him in? Because it's been nonstop now for 24 hours of him saying he's an okay guy, it's genius, what's the big deal, he's a friend of mine. His ongoing defense of Vladimir Putin, does it backfire? And if it backfires, and by the way, how does backfire look? If it backfires, the better question is, what about those that have been close to Trump? What about those that have supported Trump? Does this draw a line, a domestic line politically that kills off his chances and then kills off the chances of, people in the state of Texas who support him? It's a really distinct line. I mean, he's over his skis here, I would argue. You would say, well, he's always over his skis. Yeah. But it's fine if Trump does Trump. The bigger problem is, Greg Abbott, Rafael Cruz. The best thing that could happen to Beto O'Rourke, of course, is somebody get close to Trump. The best thing could happen to Beto O'Rourke is be close to Trump, and Trump's on the wrong side of morality. So he went on. Of course, Fox News was kissing his ass, which I think is another issue altogether. How come nobody ever asks, whether it's Trump or anybody else, but in particular Trump, because he's saying over and over again, this wouldn't happen if I were president. How can someone not say, why would it not have happened if you were president? Answer. Blah, 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 blah. How can someone, a thinking human being, not say, okay, if this happened on your watch, if these tanks rolled in, the bombs are falling, Vlad Putin says it's all on the West, what exactly would you do? Has anyone not noticed in the last 24 hours? He's not said anything that he would do or why it wouldn't have happened, except I'm tough and cool.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.